Hey everyone, my name is Zach. I'm a 23-year-old competitive boulderer from Canada, currently living in Montreal. Welcome back to the COMPCLIMB training series, where I record most of my training, provide in-depth analysis of every session, and just chat about climbing with an emphasis on competition. So here we are for some more Denver bouldering action. And actually, I forgot to mention this in the last episode. It's just a bit of a fun fact. I was actually born in Denver, and I'm a dual citizen, both American and Canadian, and my family actually moved to Canada when I was about 8 years old, and that was to open a climbing gym. My family gym is Climbers Rock back in Ontario. But anyway, I feel a little bit of a connection to this city every time I visit, I guess, because I was born here. But anyway, here we are climbing at the spot Denver. So I think I mentioned in the last episode that I had been to the spot before, and this was like years ago. It was probably like when I was training in Denver before the first time I did the Vail World Cup, probably back in like 2017. But what I didn't realize was that there's like a few spots. I guess the one that I was in, I think was in Boulder. My geography of the surrounding areas isn't so good, but the one I was at was like the original one, back like years ago, which, fun fact actually, while I was waiting in line to buy a day pass today, the person in front of me was just chatting with the desk staff, and the desk staff, I think if I heard him correctly, he said that the original spot was North America's first Boulder-only gym, which is a pretty cool stat, if I heard that correctly. And that was the spot that I had a few sessions at years ago. But this spot I have never been to. And I remember the other day I did a quick Google search of the spot just to look it up on Google Images. And I saw a spot that had like red walls and like multicolor walls. And I said, hey, that doesn't look familiar. And that's because this is a newer location of the spot. I don't know exactly when it was opened, but it's a lot newer than the original one, obviously. And yeah, based on the pictures, it looked really cool. And then I was also asking some people for some recommendations for gyms in the area as well. Because all I really know of is Movement Reno. Any other information I gathered from gyms was just doing some quick Google searching of what was in the area. But you need to get that climber inside info. So it's always good to have recommendations from others telling me what gyms have good setting or good kinds of boulders that I'm looking for. So anyway, that's all to say that I had a few recommendations to come to the spot Denver, because it's a pretty cool facility, which it was indeed. Definitely old school, as you can tell. Lots of classic climbing, some old school climbing. There was maybe one boulder in this session that I would consider was comp style that we got on, and that's going to end up being the last boulder of our session here at the spot, which is a slab. For the most part, it's very, very old school, but honestly, it was actually a really fun session that I had here. It was old school climbing, but on nice holds. It was old school, but it wasn't too old school for my taste. It was a nice mix. And actually, this boulder that we're getting on here is definitely going to end up being my favorite from our day of training at the spot. And I really like this line of holds. I think these are by Pusher. These font slopers are have always been some of my favorite holds. I think they're just super comfy and ergonomic, and always make for cool climbs. And this boulder was really well set and probably the hardest looking thing up in the gym. There were definitely lots of things that I didn't get to try because the gym is pretty big. but just from the looks of everything, I think this one might have been the hardest. It also wasn't like graded, like it didn't have any spots on it. I guess I haven't mentioned the grading system yet. It's just, you can see like the start of every boulder has got like some dots, and the more dots the boulder has, the more spots the boulder has, the harder it is. So this one didn't have any spots. I had a feeling that it's maybe because it's a project, or I don't know, maybe it was simply fell off. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a project because, like I said, this one definitely felt like the hardest in the gym, and took a lot of tries to find all the little micro beta, which honestly, like especially coming from Montreal, it is quite an interesting adjustment. Trying to solve the boulders that we've been climbing on in the States recently, like the American style boulders. Because like especially on a boulder like this, the sorts of micro beta that I have to find with like little ways where I should place my feet or grab a hold slightly differently, it's like the root reading process is a lot different, because I find it's a lot about micro beta and efficiency, whereas maybe some of the more comp style boulders that we train on usually in Montreal, it's more about having certain skill sets and looking for more obvious sequences. You know, do I do this paddle with like right, left, right, or do I, you know, skip a paddle hold and go two hands off the middle, or a slab? You know, do I do like a runny do with this foot sequence, or do I do this other foot sequence? I guess the point is, it's like the beta that I have to find here on these kinds of boulders is often very nuanced and micro beta, whereas the comp style beta that we usually sequence on is maybe a bit more obvious and you know, maybe less nuanced. So anyway, it made for like a cool, fun change of pace in terms of a session today. I had a lot of fun trying to find like little micro beta, little ways that I could optimize, especially since a lot of these boulders that we're getting on, as you will notice, are quite long and pretty pumpy and physical. So it's important that I try to climb these boulders as efficient as possible. Otherwise, I will just get super pumped. So it's definitely having me practice my efficiency really nice, and making sure that I have like good footwork and I'm like climbing nice and flowy and connecting all my moves together. And it's also nice to actually like expedite the process of getting used to these cubits as well. Having to like climb with really, really good footwork is actually really good for me learning these shoes as fast as possible, which is another nice little perk of these kinds of climbs. And I just want to say sorry for this like weird camera angle I got. I wasn't really paying attention, I guess, when I framed this camera. And on the Sengo, we are gonna be looking at a bench as I stick the crux move. So, oh well, my bad. But anyway, speaking of these cubits, I have literally, I've forgotten like the past 2 episodes to mention this, and it was really bothering me. I would like finish the video, put it together and upload it, and then remember that I forgot to mention. Maddie and I have officially joined the Unparallel Ambassador team. So I think I probably mentioned this once or twice while we were doing our shoe reviews. At the time that I was doing those shoe reviews, we were in the process of like, we were talking with an Unparallel rep and in the process of joining the ambassador team. And so now it's finally happened. Maddie and I are with Unparallel, and I guess you can keep that in mind as I talk about these shoes going forward, and tell you how much I love all these Unparallel shoes I'm trying. We are now affiliated with them. With that being said, I am like honestly so thrilled to be associated with Unparallel, because ambassadorship or not, I have now actually really discovered my love for the style of shoes that Unparallel makes, And it's going to be so easy for me to, promote them and rep them and try and sell you on my love for these shoes, because it's really genuine. And I'm gonna keep it 1,000 for any of these shoe reviews that we do going forward. And I want to definitely, if I have negative things to say about a certain model, I'm definitely going to share it. But for the most part, I've been really loving these Unparalleled shoes, and Maddie and I are really thrilled to be on their team. And so, as you can see, our training at the spot has concluded for this session. Definitely some nice, fun training that we did on some classic style boulders. And I think I'm going to go back there tomorrow. So I haven't done day 2 of training yet, and I'm 90% sure that we'll be hitting up the spot again tomorrow to climb with Sabrina, actually, who is a fellow Roseblock team member, and she just arrived in Denver because she is also going to compete in the Vail North American Cup, and she, I think, is staying near the spot, so we'll go have another session there. But for now, we are at a movement gym, but this is not the same movement that we were training at in the last episode. That one was the Reno location of movement, and this one is, hold on, I'm forgetting, the Baker location of movement. I had to look that up really quick. But this location of movement was quite a cool facility. They have a really epic lead climbing setup in this gym. Some really tall walls. Definitely seems like a bit of a lead focused facility. So the bouldering area wasn't too big, but the amount of boulders that they had and the size of the facility was definitely really good for just a nice session of bouldering. And I had a pretty good amount of boulders to try for this session. And the theme with relatively old school climbing is continuing. They did have actually a couple comp boulders up in this gym that we're going to get to later in the session. But for the most part, there was no escape for my grip strength, basically. And I had to climb on a lot of physical boulders in the session, which, all these styles of climbing that we've been doing have been feeling pretty my style, and it's quite fun to climb on these boulders, but it is getting really exhausting. To do all of these boulders, especially as we're still getting used to altitude, I definitely feel less out of breath than our first few sessions, but it's the grip strength still really gets depleted quite fast. And so I think tomorrow I'm gonna try and maybe get on some slabs, maybe even make up some slabs, because my grip strength is getting really tired as we've been trying all of these kinds of boulders. But yeah, also fun fact as well. I feel like I've said fun facts 3 times in this episode. Just so many fun facts today. Rope climbing was in the gym today because I guess they live in the area, but I was too nervous to go say hi to them. And yeah, anyway, as we are continuing with this session, I just want to point out a fun little fact. You have not seen me fall yet on a boulder. I kind of realized this around this point in the session. I'm like, hey, we've definitely been sticking to relatively moderate to soft boulders for the majority of this session, but there were definitely a couple boulders I got on that I felt like I could have fallen on and got 1 or 2 fun clutch flashes. And then at this point, as I'm climbing on the comp wall, I say to myself, okay, I see what the mini challenge for this session that is developing. And it also actually made for a nice little mini session on this comp wall with these 4 comp boulders. And that's because the challenge that was developing was to flash the session and to finish off the session on this comp wall with no falls. So I was determined to put in some really good flash goes on these boulders As you can see, I'm really taking my time with the beginning of this yellow boulder and really trying to find a good sequence through there. And it's actually pretty proud of myself. That start position felt like quite hard, and finding my way through it after struggling for a while was pretty satisfying. And that yellow boulder, I think, was actually the best in the gym, in my opinion. That was a really nice little comp set with a cool, like a really cool drop knee move at the start, and like a tricky finish match too. And so yeah, we have 2 boulders left in this mini try to flash them all session. I won't spoil the result. And as we're moving on to this boulder, this one is obviously looking like it's very tricky to flash, but this boulder is also going to lead me into today's tip of the day. So today's tip of the day is actually what I would consider to be one of my like bread and butter techniques. I feel like this is a very easily overlooked technique, but something that I'm always very conscious of and actually gives me an edge on a lot of these kinds of boulders, especially in a competition. And that's simply the idea of just absolutely staring down a blocked hold like this, especially that you're dead pointing to, like perfectly staring at the hold, looking at it the whole time and not getting like distracted by your body and whatnot and sort of accidentally shifting into using your peripheral vision, like really intentionally staring at that hold the whole way down that you're making the move. And this is just obviously kind of self-explanatory. It just gives your mind way more focus and helps your body coordinate itself a lot easier to actually get your hand in this slot better. Whereas if you were to just kind of look at the finish hold and then, okay, I got to set up my feet and get my body into a good position, and then you kind of forget to look at the hold, and then when you start going, you're kind of using your peripheral and then maybe you look at it too late. That's where you're going to get 1 or 2 attempts out of you on a boulder like this. But actually, something I don't think I've really mentioned on this channel a lot is I am pretty good at sticking these kinds of moves on the first go, rather than letting these blocked dead point crimp moves like get a couple tries in me. And that's because every single time I set up for this move, I know how to attack it properly, and I know that I just need to stare at that hold, and it's gonna probably increase my odds of latching it by like 33% or something. I always love to put percentages on things. That's just kind of my thing. But anyway, like this isn't revolutionary or some sort of unheard of technique that I have found. This is just something, like I said, that's very easy to overlook. And even I do it from time to time in training. I'll like kind of forget. But for the most part, I think I'm pretty good at remembering it right off the bat, intentionally staring down that hold, making eye contact with it the whole way. And that just really increases your chances of sticking a move like this. So definitely go give it a try. On any sort of jumping to a hold that's blocked in general. Like I feel like this is just really applicable. It's not even just on slab where you gotta kind of jump up to a crimp that's blocked like this. Just anytime you have to sort of dynamically go to a hold with a cap on it, the more you emphasize staring at that hold and not letting yourself slip into your peripheral, the better chance you're gonna have at sticking it. So definitely always keep this in mind with capped holds. And so yeah, with this tactic of mine on my side, and it being like a pretty relative strength of mine, I felt confident that I could get a flash of this boulder and continue with our streak. And as you can see, I'm like running it again. And this was because obviously you saw that I sort of skipped this first foot for the ending sequence because this like step through move kind of looked a bit low percentage. And I could tell that by doing like a more powerful jump from having my feet kind of further apart would be a bit more my style. But I said, hey, that step through move actually looks like it would be good to practice, so let me just try it. So I did the boulder again and still managed to do it, which was pretty fun. So now by this point, I was actually really powering out from all these physical boulders. So I said, okay, this comp boulder on the right here is gonna end up being our last one, and I have to flash it. I gotta complete this little challenge. And so I took a little bit extra time to figure out a good sequence and movement for this like step jump. And then we managed to complete our little mini flash challenge, which was pretty fun. I think that maybe the boulders were like sort of relatively soft for the sets right now, but there were actually definitely one or two hard ones that, like I said, I felt like I got some pretty clutch flashes of, which was fun. So anyway, let's jump into tomorrow's day of training. So here we are back for day 2 of training, and as you can see, I am gonna try doing something new for this day of training. I honestly really like watching climbing vlogs. Tammy is my favorite climbing channel. As you can see, I am watching one of their videos right now to get psyched up for my session today. And yeah, I've always wanted to dabble in vlogs. I don't think that I will try and do this like all the time or something, but I think every once in a while, a vlog on this channel could be pretty fun, especially since we're gonna meet up with Sabrina, who is a fellow Roseblock team member, to climb with her at the spot today. And it would be definitely nice to sort of meet her because she's a super awesome person. And I think a vlog could actually be more of a fun session that we could have with her rather than just, not really getting to know her at all. So anyway, I'm going to try out a vlog in this video. We'll see how it goes. Comment down below if you think it's whack and you want me to stay away from vlogs, or if you think that this could be fun every now and then. So let's jump into our session with Sabrina at the spot. Sabrina, why is it so quiet in the gym today?
Today is, what's the name?
It's like Low Sensory Sunday?
Yeah. So today is Low Sensory Sunday. So we're whispering, can't make a lot of noise, no power screens. And I'm out of breath also.
So it's going to be an ASMR vlog for our first vlog today.
I don't remember what I was saying.
You got here yesterday, right?
Yeah, so I got here yesterday. I didn't feel the altitude that much walking. Today climbing for sure. What happened?
The camera pressure got to me. I'm trying to impress Sabrina.
You didn't even know I was filming.
I have psychic powers.
Okay.
I'm a vlogger now. I always know when the camera's in.
Yeah, and that's like a hard climb. Yeah, the undercling is scary, intimidating.
Let's see if I can send my project now.
Okay. Remember to breathe. Come on, Zach. Nice. Oh, nice. Perfect. Oh, you have to go to the top of the wall, but he doesn't know that.
I don't know that. Also, it's so unnerving how my landing is like the loudest thing in the gym right now.
Yeah, it's a little stressful. Okay, so Zach said he didn't fall a single time yesterday in his session, but today he did fall on the warm-up. But maybe we could not put that in the video. We'll see. So, nice job, Zach.
Sabrina, did you see that I like smashed my fingers?
Yes.
Yeah, so like it's still, pain hasn't gone away fully. When I grab like a jug like that pink hold, and my fingers are kind of stretched, I still feel like this weird tug on my joints. So hopefully it goes away soon. I'll probably have to get like an x-ray when I get home.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it's like pretty.
It's the scabs are healing up.
Yeah, but it looks a little swollen, is it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that looks nice.
Come on. So what do you think of the spot so far? What do you think of the climbs?
The spot is very nice. It is very old school.
Yeah.
New school holds. There's a couple of jumps.
Maybe we should do those later.
And there's a progression.
Yeah, I didn't do those yesterday. Slab?
There's a slab.
Nice.
As much as I work on my slab, I'm always nervous.
We'll get some practice dealing with the pressure.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I was focusing on the frame, so I actually didn't remember any of her beta.
Perfect.
A little tricky one.
Yeah, that was a nice save.
Yeah, you made that middle sequence look chill. What holds on this orange should I take off?
Well, for sure you can take off all the crimps.
Yeah. Okay, pick one pinch for me to take off.
Maybe just take off the last
The second last?
Yeah.
All right, we'll start with that. Oh yes, so good, come on. Yes. Nice. Yes. That was sick. Possible.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we getting on now?
Okay, there's no slab skills spray well.
So we're gonna do a real-time tip of the day for this vlog. This is something that I actually learned from watching Michi Narasaki climb a lot. He's really good at emphasizing this when he does his running moves, whether it's intentional or not. So, especially when there's lots of foot movements involved in this, you almost have to treat the move as like fast walking. So I find that what I'm trying to focus on with this move is I do like a really slow wind up, and then I just try to stand tall and walk fast throughout the whole move. I find that's a better way of attacking this rather than trying to run too fast, because you get less purchase out of each volume if you run too fast. So you need to like thread the line of going fast, but also like walking tall and waiting the volumes. I don't know, I always watch Michi is really good at these moves, and this is what it looks like he does. So, worth a try.
Every time I close my eyes, every time I close my time I close my eyes.
The other trick to add on with this move, I think this is also like a previous tip of the day I had, was to also, when you pull onto the start hold, look at where you're going. So take a second to look at foothold A, foothold B, foothold C, and the finish target. And this is gonna subconsciously give your brain more spatial awareness and help coordinate your movements better to actually grab the holds. So if you just pull on without actually giving a look, chances are you're gonna not hit your targets. But now I add on, like once I get on, I look at everything, my mind gets some more spatial awareness, and now I execute my like Michi run. And those are the steps to put together for this move. All right. Oh. All right, tell me your move on this wall for me to try.
So start with the yellow here, and then so the same first move as me. This with the right hand, and then you think you can jump like to the purple? Or
Yeah, I like where this is going.
Okay. You think you could do like
A paddle?
purple, and then jump back down to the volume?
Oh yes, all right.
A little something here.
All right, I like it.
Okay.
Let's see what we can do.
Perfect. Come on, Zach. Yes, 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 yes.
Every time I close my eyes, every time I close my eyes.
Actually, this is a relevant thing to say. Normally, the way I train, after doing like a bunch of slab like that, my hands get so cold and like I will be too cold to try this green power boulder again. But in Vail, in the comp day, you know, the lines are going to be long during qualifiers, and there's going to be a lot of rest, and I usually get cold. So this is actually some good practice for me to like try hard boulders while I'm colder than I would be in training. So that's why I'm going to get on this green one really quick.
Okay. Hey. Emotional trauma with a prima donna, gasping when she see the commas, laughing to conceal the monsters. I feel like Kanye when he lost his Donda. When my father left me, you were there to heal the pain I conquered. I never pay you back for what that meant to me. Some scars just fade physically, but never leave mentally. It's where people spiritually connected turn to enemies, and memories turn to villain origin accessories.
Yes.
And I'm the bad guy yet again. Spent so much time trying to find who the victim is. It's probably both of us, but neither one is giving in. So here we go again, throwing punches at each other's ribs. Gut shot sting like a buckshot. The pain hits deep, it's like my heart becomes a blood clot. Fuck love, fuck dots, fuck you, you're unblocked. Just to get this message, hope you get it on your bus stop. And then the bus crash, your true intentions unmasked. This should have been a fairy tale ending, but you uncast. I know it hurts bad, but you know you deserve that. We'll never have the life we once had. Hey. Emotional trauma with a prima donna. Hey, yeah. Emotional trauma with you, I got my problems with you, but I can never get away. I wish my brain had a hard drive that I could reset. Wish I made the right decisions, but it's hard to reject. Moving on, but shit, you got me on both sides of the fence. Left your mark forever, that's without a scar on the flesh. Wish that I was sick and didn't hit the bar when we met. And spent my money time.
Okay, I'll try that again.
That was good.
Yeah, you need to learn what that hold felt like. It's better than I thought.
Have you tried it before? Or?
No, that was first go.
Oh, okay.
And just really big. Yeah. Hey, that's smart. Sabrina is a genius. I'm gonna do that. Come on. Nice. Strong. Come on, flash it. Yes. Come on, it's good. Yes. Finish strong. Oh no! Ouch! Oh, that was a superhero attempt though.
Yeah, it was like pretty good, and then it went horrible.
Well, now you're giving me an opportunity to tie the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on, Zach. Nice, come on. Come on. Nice, Zach. Ooh, nice. Oh, that looks comfortable. Yes. Don't land on the brush.
Come on. Strong. Come on. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Yep, come on. Oh no. That was gonna work though. Just foot slip. Okay, so Sabrina and I had a pretty fun session climbing at the spot. I'm sure we'll have a couple more sessions before we leave for Vail. So yeah, that's the training day wrapped up for Sabrina, and I'm gonna go to the gym really quick and do a couple more exercises. Also, fair warning, this is pretty much going to be my test run at vlogs. So I didn't necessarily come prepared with like the little clip-on mics that we have. So anyway, we're gonna see what the audio's like. I don't know, hopefully it's okay. But in any future vlogs that we do, I'll definitely make sure to improve on it. So that's all for today. Good day of training with Sabrina. I hope you realize just how awesome she is. And you can expect to see her more on the channel going forward, for sure, because she's a good friend of Maddie and mine, and we definitely like to train with her. So get used to Sabrina, and look forward to whatever comes in the next episode.